Another controversial week in dancehall. What's new? The abrupt cancellation of Spice's Oh No school tour. To be honest, when I heard about the tour, I thought it was a good initiative, but Spice's lyrical content in her songs is too spicy to be performed at schools. But getting the whole story, I realized that I was jumping to conclusions, and that Spice tour really had merit. The 5-day tour commenced on January 28th, with planned visits to several high schools across the island. However, shortly after its inception, the tour faced significant backlash from Apostle Jeffrey Shuttleworth, various church groups, parents, and members of the public. These groups expressed concerns about Spice's suitability as a role model for students, citing her provocative stage persona and lyrical content. They argued that her presence in schools might not align with the moral and ethical standards they advocate for the youth. As a result of this intervention, several schools began withdrawing their invitations. The Oh No school tour was designed to resonate with students, encouraging them to assertively say no to negative influences and pressures. This initiative was closely tied to Spice's recent song, Hell No, which promotes the normalization of refusing detrimental behaviors and situations. The tour began positively. With visits to Waterford and Cumberland high schools, Spice continued her outreach at Spanish Town High and her alma mater, St. Catherine High School. At St. Catherine High, she delivered an emotional address, sharing personal experiences and emphasizing the importance of education and self-belief. In response to the cancellations, Spice addressed the situation publicly. She expressed disappointment over the turn of events, emphasizing her genuine intention to positively impact students' lives. Spice highlighted that while on the road, she received emails from schools canceling her appearances due to intervention from church groups who deemed her unfit to engage with students. She lamented the missed opportunity to inspire and motivate the youth, reiterating her commitment to their empowerment.
So what I want us to realize here is that we're talking of the issue of school, we're speaking on the issue of school, but I want the church to realize that you cannot do it alone. The father did cast out David and think he was not fit enough because he was dirty and in the field. This is how the church is making me feel, which is why I'm going into the Bible so much to speak on these different issues. Because the church is making me feel like I'm cast out on a side and I'm not good enough to speak to the children. So I'm using all these scriptures so that the church can hear me. When Samuel went to David's house, there was other brothers that was there that was clean and more fitting, and the father thought that those were the brothers that should have become king, and that was the one that Saul should have anointed. But when the father brought these brothers in front of Samuel, God said to Samuel, no, he rejected them. Those are not the brothers. And so Samuel said, you must have another child. So there's someone, and the father said, no man, he's a little dirty boy. You don't want that one. He's out in the field keeping the sheep. You know what my story is leading to? The church is casting me out. But you're casting me out, not knowing that God can use me to get the message across. Because before I came here, the schools that the Ministry of Education was mentioning was already having 0 passes before I said I was going to do a school tour, which means there's a problem that is already existing in the school. So while the church may feel like, oh, it's the church alone must do this and the church, you don't know how God moves. God moves in mysterious ways. So I am very saddened to know that the church, who should have come and joined force with me to go into the school to speak with this, is casting me aside, as like David was casted by in outside when he was doing the sheep, when David was the one and everybody thought it was the other way around. So let me just come out of the Bible a little bit, because I was staying there since I'm dealing with the church. Kids, they learn from influences. That is why when we do the lewd lyrics, we get blamed for the way the kids behave. So if I, as Spice, because you say you cannot separate the two, even though when you go on the pulpit and you preach as a preacher, when you're the woman and preach to your kids them, so you go back to being a parent. But you say we cannot separate the two, right? So let us just work with the facts that we cannot separate the two. Let's just work with me being an influencer. You said my lewd lyrics are influencing these children. So why the spice, since I can't be myself and I can't be Grace Hamilton, why the spice that the church feel like is bringing the children astray should not be the same spice to go back and tell them that this is wrong, to say no? Because my tour was not a performance tour, so I'm not sure where we were being misled, because the church keeps speaking about the songs that I sing, the lyrics that I sing, the content of my music video. I wasn't showing any music videos. I wasn't performing any songs. You guys are speaking on a song that I have released, and I'm kind of clueless, but you guys said you can't separate the two, which is fine. If Ali Berry, who is an actress, should come here and wants to go into the school, I'm sure she would not be stopped. Yes, if I turn on my television, she have videos and movies where she performs them on TV. I don't know if I should say the word naked or nude. So I feel like there's a selective outrage coming from the church against me.
I think this is a teachable moment for everyone not to be quick to judge someone's actions. Apostle Shuttleworth said that the school tour was just a mechanism to promote her song, which, to be fair, I can understand why he would think that. But his public outburst without getting his facts right and his judgmental attitude towards Spice is just an example on why so many of our youths are not interested or have left the church. Honestly, I think Spice's team could have marketed the event by advertising that the tour wasn't performance-based, but an open panel discussion. I think this is just a major misunderstanding, but some people are of the view that Spice's reputation for lewd lyrics and raunchy performances should not be allowed to interact with students. I disagree, but tell me what you think in the comments. The abrupt end of Spice's Ohhh No school tour serves as a focal point for discussions on the role of artists in youth mentorship and the influence of cultural figures in educational settings. While the initiative aimed to empower students to resist negative influences, its cancellation reveals the complexities involved when personal expression, public perception, and institutional values collide. This event invites a broader conversation on how best to engage and inspire young people in a manner that respects diverse viewpoints within society.